Lewis, mate. So a bit of a mixed start to the season with the Red Bull, but you can sort of feel that confidence boost that came into the squad after that result last weekend. You're looking forward to changing formats and getting stuck into the Vitality T20 Blast?
Yeah, I mean, always going into T20 cricket, it's always a bit of fun. Boys are really looking forward to it, so yeah, it should be a good competition.
What is it about the Blast that makes it special, unique, and gets you guys excited? Like you say, gets a bit of a feel going around the group.
I think it's just a different type of challenge, isn't it? I think you go from quite a technical game in terms of the Red Bull game, and then you come into the Blast where you play with a bit more freedom, and obviously it's quite exciting cricket, a lot more boundaries, a lot more wickets happening. So yeah, a shorter format always brings the excitement to the game.
For sure. I mean, the change in the format itself brings a renewed atmosphere around the place. What is it like from a player's point of view to walk out and visit Worcester Road and play in front of a crowd in the T20 Blast?
Oh yeah, there's nothing better than coming to Worcester and rocking out there in the T20 shirt in front of normally a packed house here at New Road. So yeah, it always feels like the crowd are sort of the 12th man on the field. So yeah, it's great to have them out.
Last year, safe to say, a bit of a disappointing campaign. What are the focuses and what maybe needs to change a little bit heading into this year's campaign? You know, renewed start, renewed spirit amongst the squad. What are the focuses heading into this year's campaign?
Yeah, good question. I think last year we probably lacked a little bit of clarity. We had probably half the team in slightly different roles just because of the personnel. So going into this year, it's a bit more, as I say, a bit more clarity. People should know their roles a little bit more, and that should hopefully reflect in our cricket. So that's quite exciting. I think we've added to the squad quite well as well. So 2 overseas bowlers I think is going to help. Really looking forward to sharing their knowledge both on the field and off it. So yeah, that's really exciting.
You touched on it there about having sort of new faces, new bowlers in your armoury as well. For a captain like yourself, the changes that come from 4-day cricket, thinking a bit further ahead perhaps, where the T20 stuff happens very quickly, you've got a lot of things to think about in a short space of time. You're having constant conversations, I imagine, probably within yourself, but also people on the pitch as well. What sort of changes does that bring from a captaincy perspective, the sort of reduction in time to think about things? How does that impact your sort of overlook on the match?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. I think you do have to think on your feet a little bit more. Definitely, you're reacting in the sort of the here and now, and not so much what potentially could happen in sort of the next session. So yeah, using the players like Jacob Duffy, who's world #1 T20 bowler, is really going to be useful, and obviously Ben Dorshus, who's played cricket all around the world now, is going to be useful, and then obviously vice captain Adam Hose as well, who's played a lot of cricket, T20 cricket around the world. That's really going to help me. But I think in the moment it's about staying nice and calm and staying nice and present. And I think if you can sort of trust your gut on the feeling that you get on the field, normally that stands you in pretty good stead.
Those conversations you have, you touching on Duffy obviously being so experienced, and a couple of other Adam Hose as well. Are they conversations you potentially have in the build up to games? Do you have chats with Richo as well, or are they players in particular you look to lean on, or are you quite an independent person when it comes to captain? Like you always just trust your gut?
No, definitely not. I think I do like to sort of canvass opinion across the group, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into the games. It probably doesn't look that at times, but in terms of analysts and all that stuff, and Richo and all those things considered, it's about thinking on your feet out there. But obviously, canvassing opinion, you'd be sort of stupid not to pick the brains of those guys that have played all those games around the world. So I think, yeah, definitely pick their brains, but ultimately the decision's down to me, and that's something that quite excites me in terms of trying to influence the game in a positive way for the team.
And then just sort of preparations, lead up, etc. You've been through a big block of Red Bull cricket now. How does the preparations, the nets change, your build-up change? What are those changes? What does that look like for the people like me that may not see that on a day-to-day basis? Yeah,
it's actually quite a challenging thing, to be honest, going from that Red Bull format into a white ball format. I think obviously the practice changes slightly. We try and get a few more white ball hits in, a bit of white ball fielding, and then obviously bowlers are probably practicing their skills that they'd use in that T20 format, such as Yorkers or slower balls. But to try and get the time period to be able to do that amongst the schedule can be challenging, but I think that the guys have managed that really well.
And then I guess looking ahead to Blast off next Thursday, trip to Lancashire, Old Trafford, notoriously pretty lively ground. Yeah. How much are you guys excited to get there and get underway next week?
Yeah, mate, first game of the T20 Blast is always exciting, especially at a ground like Old Trafford. It's always a great ground to go to. As you said, the crowd's always pretty rowdy there, so that's always exciting as well. So yeah, we'll be looking to obviously get off the mark with a win, so fingers crossed we can do that.
This is Mike the Plasterer. He needs a trusted supplier for his materials and tools. Mike needs Profile Store. With an easy-to-use website, you can check stock online, order it and collect it within the hour. Profile Store offer free delivery over £125 and fast overnight shipping. With over 2,000 products in stock, they're sure to have what you need. So get yourself down to the trade counter in Kidderminster today. Get the job done with profilestore.co.uk.